superstars, but similar strategy in the first round where it was the takedown and then what many call lay and pray taking place for the duration of the 5 minutes. But Tim Smith trying to do something from the bottom and not succeeding in going for one submission attempt after another. Hardcore Championship Fighting Title Wave is brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers, and by Iceberg Vodka, naturally pure. I would score the round for Tim Smith myself, but we'll wait and see what happens as the middle stanza is now underway, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Good job of Rowbotham catching the kick and securing another takedown.
Back to your thing about the scoring, I think it was a thing where we didn't see dominance one way or another.
Exactly.
So that's the problem. That's why you and I would agree to disagree on that particular thing. We'll see what the judges think.
Rowbotham back to familiar territory, but again, it's Tim Smith very active on the bottom, shrimping his hips, and now Rowbotham trying to create some distance, dropping some left hands, and now from the north-south position, again, under the unified rules of mixed martial arts, no knee strikes to the head, but he can deliver knees to the shoulder or the body from this position, Stephen.
Now here we see an attempt at a guillotine.
And you can hear his corner yell out knees.
Yeah, throw the knees. And he landed one to the crown, but we see a guillotine pulling guard. Tim Smith could have a submission here if he gets that arm under the throat.
Rowbotham pops his head out like a veteran.
Yeah, exactly.
Well done there.
That was a good transition that Tim Smith made because it looked like he was almost going to get guillotined from the standing position, and he got a guillotine, fell back, didn't quite have it. Now Mike back on top.
While this is Rowbotham's professional mixed martial arts debut, he was undefeated as an amateur at 6-0. Of course, Tim Shady Smith, the veteran of the Alberta Mixed Martial Arts Shows, trained by Steve Bergeron, member of the A-Team. The scouting report on him says that wrestling is a weakness, but against a national champion doing pretty well right now in terms of defending. But like you say, Rowbotham, once he gets him on the ground, he's a fish out of water. He doesn't seem to really know what to do, and it's all Tim Smith trying to press the action from a defensive position.
Yeah, Rowbotham hasn't done any effective ground and pound so far, and he hasn't tried to pass the guard. He hasn't tried to get side control, nothing. I think that Tim Smith is winning this round because he had a submission attempt. It didn't finish him, but he's trying to finish the fight and getting back to the 10-point must system and the Pride fighting rule criteria.
And I know Tim Smith is trying and shrimping the hips, and you want to give the, okay, here he goes. I was going to say Kyle Cardinal probably could have done that a lot sooner as a referee. I mean, I know it's a sport. The ground game is a part of the sport. I'm a huge proponent of it, but it's also entertainment, and we weren't seeing anything from Mike Rowbotham, and why not give Tim Smith, who is trying to do something, a shot on his feet where anything can now happen, and he is starting to mix it up with Rowbotham.
Now the problem is Mike Rowbotham was giving Tim Smith a shot on his feet, but then he gives him a shot which takes him down.
And the crowd showing their displeasure.
They don't
with
like
another takedown because they are already wizened to Rowbotham's strategy. All he does is take him down and try to control him without really trying to improve position or finish the fight. And it's again Tim Smith trying to sit up. But Rowbotham, for an 18-year-old, again, at one time weighing 205 pounds when he was in grade 3. He's a well put together 5'8", 185 pounds, and has the power to, again, a la the Milicic camp, all of those very decorated wrestlers like you mentioned, Randlemans, the Colemans, can control from this position. But it isn't a wrestling match. I say it again, Stephen.
No, it isn't, and he's controlling things, but look at Tim. He's trying to hip over. He's trying to pick off the Kimura. He's trying things. This is going to be really hard to score. And I can't stand draws.
No.
There won't be a draw.
There will be no kissing the proverbial female sibling in this one, Mr. Quantos.
Well, Tim Smith is
can opener by Smith.
Tim Smith is trained by the A-Team, but I see Mr. T nowhere in sight. Thank you.
Nicely done. I was going to say you're probably more like Murdoch.
That would be me. Tim Smith still trying to pound away. Ear punches from the bottom. He's staying active.
Rowbotham now has Smith along the fence, but Smith again very diligent, busy on the bottom, trying desperately to move his hips Position before submission, while Rowbotham really like a slug in that top position, working from the guard. And again, it looks like he is going to definitely have to work on adding to what is obviously world-class wrestling skills.
I would say that he's got wrestling, but little else. He's got a takedown, but he doesn't have the knowledge of passing the guard. We got an open guard situation right now. He could reach back, risk a triangle choke.
End of round 2. The story of the fight so far, Mike Rowbotham's ability to take down Tim Smith at will, but then do nothing further, while Tim Smith, from the guard position, has attempted submissions. Rowbotham's showing some natural submission defense, but